Dahlia de Beaumont sat in her elegantly designed office in the building she owned on the Rue du Faubourg Saint-Honoré in Paris on a warm day in late June, and consulted her list of appointments and the calls she had to make that morning. She was the CEO of the venerable, highly successful perfume firm she had inherited as an only child. It had been founded by her maternal grandfather, Louis Lambert. Dahlia's mother, Constance Lambert Johnson, also an only child, had inherited it from her father, the founder. Constance had passed away when Dahlia was in college in New York. She had bequeathed the company in its entirety to Dahlia. Dahlia had always known she would inherit the business one day. It was expected. She just didn't know it would happen so soon. She had a normal, happy childhood, except that her career path had been chosen for her, almost like royalty in a way. They were one of the most important perfume manufacturers in the world. Louis Lambert Perfumes were as well known as Guerlain and followed as many of the original traditions of perfume making as was possible at a time when some natural ingredients were no longer available or legal and had been replaced by synthetics. It was a technical challenge, but as much as was possible, and with great care, their perfumes appeared to be unchanged. Dahlia's mother, Constance, was a gentle, genteel woman. She had never worked in the firm, once she'd inherited it, but she had a deep love for the company her father had founded. It was run by the competent directors, executives, and managers her father had put in place before his death at 87. Their perfumes were in some way old-fashioned or traditional, and yet they had been subtly adapted to the modern world and to what women wanted today. Many new scents had been added to the originals, which were popular around the globe. The managing board of directors had run Lambert during Constance's entire ownership. Her husband, Hunter Johnson, had been on the board, was one of the overseers of the company, and had protected Constance's interests and invested the company's assets wisely. He had suggested several times to Constance that they go public, but she had preferred to maintain private ownership. She knew her father would have wanted that, just as the Dumas family kept Hermès private, and the Wertheimer family owned Chanel. Lambert was easily as profitable as Hermès, and had stores where their perfumes were sold around the world. Hunter, Constance's husband, was American. They had met at a party at the American Embassy in Paris, and he had been dazzled by her. He was 25 years older than Constance when they met. She was 21, one of the most beautiful young women in Paris, and he was a childless widower of 46. He was one of the early founders of venture capital. They married within the year they met, and Dahlia was born in New York a year later. Hunter advised Constance brilliantly on the company's investments during her ownership of Lambert. Her death while Dahlia was in college in the States was a heartbreaking blow to Dahlia and her father. He adored his wife, and Dahlia and her mother were very close.